photons collide and are reflected off each other, and are the various group movements of millions of pieces of matter rotating. With electric and magnetic force, like with gravity, the more matter, the more velocity the matter can have. Because of momentum, the velocity a piece of matter keeps, a number of other forces can be explained as momentum. For example, what humans called centripetal force, the force on a piece of matter rotating, can be explained as momentum. Because of momentum, two pieces of matter that are moved together because of gravity may move to each other but never touch. A piece of matter can rotate another piece of matter because of gravity but not go directly to and collide with the piece of matter. What is a surprise to me is that most humans in physics and science still do not accept that a photon is matter. So, as a result, the size of a photon has not been measured. What is the number of base units of matter in a photon, if any? Why do most photons pass through hydrogen gas, silicon, oxygen 4, glass, and water, but not through carbon, iron, and sulfur? How many photons are in an electron? What is a good name for the smallest piece of matter, if not a photon? What is the amplitude of a photon moving at 10 exponential 6 cycles every second, compared to a photon moving at 10 exponential 9 cycles every second, sometimes called hertz? Paul Dirac was one of the first humans to think that for every object of matter there is an antimatter object. Anti-photons, anti-protons, anti-electrons, maybe even anti-planets, anti-stars exist or could be made. Antimatter occupies space like matter. Antimatter and matter collide. A group of antiprotons would make a hole in the Earth and could be one way to separate objects like planets or stars. Some humans may change opinion to think that there is only matter and space in the universe, to thinking that there is only matter, antimatter, and space in the universe. I think that antimatter may be matter with a different shape or distribution. Antimatter has the same mass, so I think antimatter is actually matter. So when protons and antiprotons collide, the matter is not changed into empty space. If matter and antimatter collided and made only empty space, then the antiproton, what is being called antimatter, would actually be antimatter, the opposite of matter. But because a proton and antiproton collide and release photons, I think that what is being called antimatter is only a same-size electric opposite particle. An antineutron is the combination of an antiproton, anti-electron, and neutrino, in my opinion. A neutron will separate to a proton, electron, and antineutrino. Most humans in science think that the proton, electron, and antineutrino are made at the time the neutron decays. I think that a neutron may actually be, or is actually, a proton, electron, and antineutrino moving together because of the force of gravity, or because of the shape of space-time that matter makes. Perhaps all pieces of matter are made of photons, neutrinos, or some other piece of matter moving only because of the single matter-to-matter attraction called gravity. Because the neutron separates to a proton, electron, and neutrino, and not three quarks, I question if quarks exist. No individual quark has ever been seen. There may be groups of photons that have the same size as any of the 6 quarks. Nuclear fission is when an atom is divided into 2 more small atoms. There are a number of photons that move out of the atom. There will probably be a time when humans can get all the photons from an atom to move out of the atom. I think that this could be possible with antiprotons, antineutrons, or antielectrons. Again, these antiparticles are probably not antimatter and are only electrical opposite particles. The number of photons rotating in an atom is more than are let go when an atom of uranium is split with a neutron to separate into an atom of xenon and an atom of strontium. What are the frequencies of all the photons that were called energy moving from uranium atoms after fission? The photons are sometimes used to heat water. Think of what could be done if all the photons in atoms already put together could be made free. With matter like a plant, shirt, planet, or atom, putting together the photons has already been done. How to put together photons into an atom is probably of interest only to me at this time. There's more empty space than matter-filled space in this universe, or else there would be a galaxy of space and a universe of matter. Because matter is a part of space, perhaps space-time could be called space-matter time. Maybe empty space is a form of matter. Then I would say a universe of matter, not a universe of space and matter. Or maybe a universe of space matter. In the universe, there is empty space and matter in space, at least in terms of what humans think. If there was only empty space, there would be no stars, planets, and life. If there was only matter in space, there would be no place for matter to move. Still, humans use the words light, radio, microwave, gamma ray, and X-ray. Never do I hear photon or the photons in the microwave frequency. Where is the science news? Finally, there is a science section in some newspapers. Go for moving images already. Where are the most popular humans in science? Why learn science or do good in school at all? When did the first apple evolve? The first peach? What came first, the apple or orange? There could be vehicles that move in air only 1 to 10 meters above ground, stopping the need for tar roads. Anywhere there is matter moving from one place to a different place, humans can get photons to use. For example, the photons moving from one magnet to a different magnet can be used like the moving of water to rotate an object for as much time as there are photons for a magnet, or water molecules for a river moving. Although a magnet may have electrons, I'm not exactly sure what are in the magnetic field or whatever, but I think it might be electrons. The same is true that could be photons anyway. The same is true for the attraction of the Earth to other pieces of matter. This is what moves water on the surface of Earth. The moving of oxygen and nitrogen molecules in what humans call air is another example of matter moving from one place to a different place. I think that humans will get the most photons from matter by separating matter into the original photons, perhaps by using antiprotons. I like to use simple words, less than 7-letter words when describing the universe. Popular words are recognized by more humans and more easy for humans trying to learn a language. Most of the time, a 10-letter word can be exactly matched by a 4 or 5-letter word. Humans use larger words to try to hide basic ideas from other humans, to look important, or to make more abstract interpretations or descriptions of the universe. The main idea for me is to describe the universe in the most accurate words possible. Humans should be exact in describing the universe. Some humans use the words germs or microbes. Think of how much more simple humans would think of science if instead humans use the word virus or bacteria, more accurate and not making more abstract words that do not apply to any matter or already defined matter. What is interesting and amazing is how much is learned when humans try to use more simple words. Take, for example, the word fire or energy when replaced by the word photon. I think that the most accurate description of the universe will include every space and every piece of matter. Each piece of matter in the universe will be included. Also, humans should be using equations that describe the number of pieces of matter, not massive objects like stars and planets. Even more small than grams, whatever a gram is, are photons. Perhaps photons will be the more small unit of measure, making an electron 10,000 photons. I want to see a computer model the universe with matter made of photons, using a three-dimensional model that includes photons, quarks, atoms, and molecules.